gals, and welcome to the Monday, April 3rd episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. I brought the coffee, you bring the chat. I hope everybody had a good weekend and you're ready to start another week. Oh, let's see here. Done already shared it out. Good morning, Ian. Good to see you, bud. Trying to adjust this pillow back here. My back is still not doing any better than it was. Taro and T, good morning. Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. Man, we were humping this weekend. We were busy. Good morning, Jan. Glad you could make it this morning. Weekend was a letdown. You woke up both days. I mean, that's one positive thing to look at. Sorry it was a bad weekend for you, though. But, you didn't have to bury anyone. So, I mean, I know there's a couple people you'd probably like to bury, but yeah, you didn't have to bury anyone. Get back. Tonight I'm going to 80s trivia. You're going to go to Between the Buns? Oh, wait, I think they have their trivia on Wednesday nights. Good morning, Lady C. Hope you had a good weekend. Oh, but yeah, yep. I got me a pillow back here behind me right now. My back is still not any better. This is like 4 days, and I'm running out of acetaminophen, and the doctor won't give me any more for like 2.5 weeks. So I think I've been taking 10 or 12 of them a day, just to try to kill the pain, just enough to be able to stand up straight and not walk around like I got a corn cob up my butt. Oh, let's see here. Good morning, Tony. Hope you're doing well today, bud. Well, yeah, thunderstorms and tornadoes have a tendency of kind of making things, kind of wonky. But hey, part of Texas. Well, it's part of Texas I really enjoyed, though. I enjoyed the storms. That's where I got my first. That's where I got my first taste of going out and actually watching a tornado, and loved it. Beautiful. Truly the finger of God. I got hit a bit Saturday. How did you get hit a bit? I mean, you can't just say I got hit a bit and leave it at that. You got to um, yeah. Did you get your foot ran over? Did you did somebody come by and clip you in a parking lot? Did you lose some money? I mean, how do you get hit a bit? Good morning, Santee. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Lost a limb, quarter of my garage roof. Oh, shite. Wow. Dang. Yeah, I mean, we had the storms, we had the wind. Saturday, you know, early in the morning while we were getting things set up to put grandma's urn in the ground and stuff, it started snowing. Uh, it snowed during the hour or something we were out at the cemetery. Nothing stuck, of course. It warmed up afterwards, so yeah, Friday, Saturday was crazy here. Supposed to get bad storms tomorrow and Wednesday. Go figure. Go figure. Maybe hit and bit. Well, some people pay upwards of $150 for that. So I mean, if he got it for free, uh, hell. Thank you, Santy. Appreciate that, bud. Let me see here. Photos against anxiety. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Usually tornadoes don't hit here, but yesterday was different. The one thing I liked about Texas was how open it was, especially when I got out west a little bit. And it completely blew me away how you could sit there and you could actually watch them dance as they were moving. That's the thing that always amazed me about them. They really truly are. If you take away the destructive nature and the fact of the damage they could do and things, they're very, very beautiful to sit and watch. I mean, and when they start to form and they slowly work their way down, then you see the cloud of dirt down here. They kind of come up a little bit, and then they meet, and you just watch how they dance as they're moving, especially the little conicals, the little ribbons. That's what I always loved about them. Now, I mean, you figure in the destructive nature and stuff like that, yeah, they ain't so pretty no more, but two tornadoes that have struck my town have both been in December. It's snowing in eastern Washington state. Oh, God. I think, I hope we're done with the snow here in Michigan. I hope. We're into April, but I've seen it snow, second, third week of April here before. So, hell, we've had snow piled up still the first week of March, or May, I mean. So, God, who knows? As ornery as a biatch as Mother Nature is being this year, we might get snow in July. Who knows? I was on the road. Some damage occurred here. Damn, Tony, I am so sorry, bud. That's terrible. That's terrible. Thank God for insurance. Getting that tree removed or getting that limb removed, getting the damaged parts of the tree cut off, getting the roof fixed. Yeah, thank God for insurance. Went and picked up the missus at work in that 20 minutes it happened. We usually hear about them hitting around us, but yesterday was the first time in over 25 years I take shelter. Good thing I needed to trim the limb. Not anymore. Good morning, Derek. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing good. Hope you are done with the snow. I hope I are done with the snow, too. I'm getting tired of it. It's time to start dressing pretty again and put a polish on my boots and actually be able to get out and do things. I won't claim this. Man. Well, I hope that I hope that limb only messed with the roof and didn't do any damage to the structure underneath it. I'm just, yeah, I agree with Santi. That's what I was getting ready to say. I'm just glad that, you guys were gone and nobody got hurt. And the animals were fine, and, or the dogs. Dogs were fine and everything. Reshingle the thing. Isn't that costly? Good. I shortened my name a bit. Instead of saying Dark Shadows Paranormal History, this is Parahistory. I started a trend with that. You owe me 25 cents now, by the way, because when I come up with the term parahistory, it's kind of officially registered. I mailed that name and the date and everything to myself, so it did go through a federal agency. So you owe me a quarter for using parahistory, parahistorical, anything. Just a quarter though, just 25 cents. That's it. Put a bunch of shingles. I want to give Mother Nature a huge bottle of Midol. So Mother Nature needs a huge. You're fine, Derek. I'm teasing, man. I'm teasing. I wanted to start a whole new genre, man. That's why I done that. I wanted to start a whole new genre, not just people who study the paranormal or study history, but people who do paranormal investigations predominantly at historic locations or investigations about history. So I mean, I kind of want to start this whole new genre of paranormal. That's why I did that. So I'm glad you did it. I'm glad you did it. But yeah, Mother Nature needs more than a big bottle of Midol. Mother Nature needs a bottle of whiskey, a big bottle of Midol, and one of those great big 1 pound Hershey bars. And hopefully she'll calm down and smile enough to quit being a butthole. Rest of the weekend at Free Chick, I got some lavender coming on her wings. We'll be checking hatchery as to her breed. Her name is Teeter. I still don't know why you give them cute names. I swear to God, if I can get the wife talked into chickens now that Grandma's gone and I got one less responsibility indoors, I told you what mine are going to be named. I'm going to have Fricassee. I'm going to have Dumpling. I'm going to have Noodle. I'm going to have Quesadilla. I'm going to have Pot Pie. Let me see here. They're all going to be named after what they're going to become if they quit laying. So, I mean, use your imagination on that. There's in the area 3-4 inches of hail. My God, we didn't see that shit. Look at all the glass on the 2 Suburban. Sit outside here. My question. Yeah, I did like your question this morning that you put on that post, Derek. That was actually kind of cool. And I've spent a lot of time over the last few years, since the country kind of started, and I've watched and read a lot of SHTF scenarios and things from different writers and stuff. Yep, McNugget's one of them too. Um, One of them's going to be named Crispy. One of them's going to be named Grilled. Grilled. That was the other one. Crispy and Grilled. Um, but yeah, that was actually a really good question. And matter of fact, there was just a video put out here a couple years ago by a channel on here that does SHTF stuff. And they were talking about an inner city school because they have the security locks, they have the fencing, they have all that stuff. And, you know, that's the one thing they talked about was a prison, because most of them have got double fencing. Some of them have got triple fencing. And, the fact that those prisons are made to cater to at least 1,000 people, sometimes more than that. But we got prisons in the state of Indiana that have 3,000 people in them. Everything from level ones to level fives that'll never see the light of day again. So in an SHTF situation, if you could find a prison where they have this thing called, Operation A or something like that, where in the event of an SHTF situation, the guards actually go around to start killing the inmates. They don't want, you know, a situation to occur where these people get back out into society. So in a huge, in the event of a nuclear war or something like that, the guards just go around to start killing the inmates. So yeah, it's now the level ones, guys in there for traffic violations, child support, stuff like that. They get out, but the ones that have done violent crimes, murder, rape, etc., that they just get ended. So Indiana does have that in place. Matter of fact, at the Westville Correctional Facility up by Michigan City, I knew a guard that worked there. He's a very good friend of mine. I think he's gone now, but he used to tell us about that all the time. So, all right, let's see here. I rattled a bit again. This week's goals: work on Final Kinks fundraiser I'm doing. Good luck. Good luck with that. That'd be kind of cool. Kentucky Fried. That'd be a good name for one. I said, come here, 11 herbs and spices. Come here, get your corn. You're making me hungry. Level meaning the first number of caliber used. Well, that'll free up space for more inmates. I'm very tactical. Mine is an oil rig, mountain in the woods in case of zombie apocalypse. The end of the world would be good. You want a 360 degree all that comes, and look out. Good morning, Chris. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well this morning. 1 herb, 2 herb, 3 herb. Yeah, there you go. I mean, you can get online and you can get KFC's recipe to make your own, KFC mix. And it tells you what all the herbs and the spices and things like that are, so you can actually officially name your chicks after each individual herb and spice. Me and Jan had a talk last week on Messenger, y'all. I'll be honest about this. I love animals. I love animals more than I love people in some cases. And I don't think I could ever be a sustainable farmer because, the second I get a calf born or a lamb or something, I'm going to name it. I'm going to go out and I'm going to love on it and brush it and, everything else. So, yeah, I don't see myself after 3 or 4 years going out and taking Muffy and putting a bullet in her head and hanging her up in the barn and cleaning her and packaging her and putting her in the freezer. But if I name it, T-bone or sirloin or something like that, I'm going to be fine with it. Right now, counting the chicks, I have 13 chickens. Yeah, I'm going to need luck. I'm down 2 options. Either way, it'll be fun. You ever thought of prostitution? I mean, you're kind of skinny and stuff, and you're not real pretty. But I've seen a lot of ugly hookers in my life. So, I mean, you should be able to make some money. I mean, you found a good woman finally. and she's prettier than you are. So I'm thinking maybe your only option is going to be either selling your left testicle for, $2,000, or just going into prostitution. I'm pretty sure that's gonna be it, bud. Just had a KFC double down yesterday. Oh, you dog. There's hardly any KFCs around here anymore, so there ain't no KFCing for us. KFC is they pressure cook. Yeah, the pressure fry, yeah. Never name an animal you intend to eat. How true. As soon as you name it, there's some kind of affection started, and that just kind of ruins it. Farm. Be a giant pet home. Yeah, that's what I figured. I always wanted Bob Evans sausage gravy as a kid. Growing up in the 80s, my mom, stepdad, and I would either go to Denny's or Bob Evans in Michigan on the weekends. We make our own biscuits and gravy. We don't go for the Bob Evans stuff. And I'll be honest with you, my wife's biscuits and gravy is better than anything I ever had in any restaurant, including Cracker Barrel. So, after you wash the blood and guts, this finger looking good. I'm either going to travel on horseback to another state or travel down the river. I don't listen to him. Left testicles go for more than 2K. I know they do. I was just rounding it up. He can't count much higher than that, Santee. Don't mess him up this early in the morning. We were get property. I wanted Angus, steer, and a pig. Thought I'd call them dinner. Yep. I'm going doing historic travel for a fundraiser for kids with autism. What if his is tiny? I don't know. I've not really talked to Brenna about, size. So I don't know. It's hard telling. Venison, moose, and duck are good eating. I've had venison. I've had duck. Never had moose. Always wanted to try moose. I heard it was really good. Of course, around here, I embrace my inner Canadian. I actually just found some moose hide the other day that I didn't realize I had. And I got 2 beavers hanging in here, so I'm embracing my inner Canadian here. Suckered in the light. Help with a hog dressing job for a roast. Great eating even after that. I don't like duck or goose. Duck, goose. The duck wasn't too awful bad deep fried. They fat fried it, and it wasn't too awful bad. There was not a lot of meat on a duck, though. I mean, it's not like cooking a turkey. And they don't get near as fat as a chicken that's bred for cooking. But it had a flavor to it. Now, goose I've never had. I've always wanted to try goose too. But around here, you can't kill Canadian geese. So, and people tend to get a little upset when you crawl over the fence to get into their garden to kill one of their domestic geese. Or swans or something like that. Or well, around here, seagulls. Good morning, Brenna. You're looking lovely as ever. Good to see you. Good news on the topic. I did just order my MRD hunting license and my deer permit. Very cool. Very cool. Blue Owl pig cooked in the ground is the best pork I've ever had. Yeah, we do a lot of pig roasts here. Most of our large parties or gatherings or stuff, there's a hog in the ground somewhere. Even if it's a suckling pig, you're going to have 10 or 15 people there. Cook a small suckling pig. If you're going to have like a big party, a big reception, a wedding, something like that. Oh, yeah. You stick a full hog in the ground. Getting kids ready for school. Ty is not small, I promise you. Well, I know. He's like a foot taller than I am. Sadly enough, I'd have to take one of my belts and cut 12 inches off of it and poke about 13 more holes in it to fit his scrawny little butt. But, there you have it, guys. Straight from the horse's mouth. The future hooker of America, Tyler Holton, is not small. I won't hunt stuff I won't eat. Yeah, see, that's the way I am, Tony. I don't believe in just killing to have trophies hanging around. You kill to feed yourself, you kill to feed your family, and that's the extent of it. Steak, it has to be medium rare. I like mine medium rare to medium. I mean, I don't mind a little bit of blood, but when it's still chewing, it's cut, and I get hit with the tail when I try to cut a chunk off of it. Yeah, it's too rare for me. At the same time, I want to taste the steak. I don't want to put a piece of charcoal in my mouth and try to chew on it. So yeah, I do medium rare to medium. Just depends on who's cooking it and where we're at. Is looking like a hot mess. Then I'm doing great. You are a hot mess. I've seen you first thing in the morning before. You are a hot mess. You're a mess and you're hot. So there you go. I don't know. I was traveling Old West. But if a person can't cook a steak juicy and well done, they ain't a cook. Well, that is true. It needs to be juicy regardless how it's cooked. I used to love my steak bloody when it was still mooing. That's how my mom is with everything, man. I love the look on people's faces when she goes out to eat somewhere and she asks for a hamburger cooked medium rare. I'm like, why don't you just have them bring you a half a pound of just raw ground beef and just tartar it up? Just shove that stuff in your mouth. Bring you a package of uncooked meatballs or something like that. I mean, Christ, woman. You're going to catch botulism or something. See, my wife wants those things bleeding. She wants them bleeding. Sasquatch gone for a week. Wife Squatch gone for a week. My truck is dead again. I have a headache, and she took every bottle of Tylenol and Advil in the house. You're in the same boat I am, except it's my back. I've got my painkillers the doctor gives me, but I only get a certain amount a month. And my back's been hurting for 4 days now. I can't even stand up and walk straight. So I've been taking 10 or 12 of them a day. About every 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, I'll pop two more of them. And I've just about used up my month's supply, and I won't get them again till the 15th. So yeah, I'm in a world of hurt too, because I don't have the money to go out and buy any Excedrin or anything. So yeah, looks like I'm gonna be walking around like with a corn cob shoved up my butt for the next 2 weeks. The question is, who needs 4 bottles of Advil for a week? So I guess that's good. Hey, Candy, good to see you. Candy 3.0. Alive and kicking is always a hell of a way to start the day. I don't care what you make of the rest of the day. Alive and kicking is always the best way to start a day. I'm not married, so no advice for me. No Advil for me. Hang yourself. I'll tell you what, the thought has crossed my mind. Oh God, just please take me. This hurts so bad. I look like I'm 90 years old walking through this house. Of course, you know, my walking stick is right there. I trip over a cat or something like that, I'm done for. It's going to be a concussion. So, you know, I keep it around as a prop. Let's see if I can turn it this way. Maybe yeah, that's not so bad. That's keeping that damn ergonomics of this chair out of the part of my back that's hurting. Seriously, take all the weight off the spine and let the weight of your legs pull down. I'll be back. Dropping the kiddos off to school. All right, Brenna. Sounds good, honey. You know, I would try acupuncture, Derek, but once again, my insurance don't cover stuff like that. They don't carry going to a deep tissue masseuse. They don't carry. They don't cover going to a chiropractor. They don't cover acupuncture. They cover your doctor, your dental, and your visual, and that's all they cover. I can't control what you do when I'm not around. Bee sting therapy. Um, if you want me to die, I suffer from anaphylaxis when it comes to stings and bites like that. And then acupuncture on my neck, and it did work for 2 years. Rub and tugs, they take cash. Yeah, see, Tony knows. I didn't even have to say anything. Tony knows Drew ain't got cash. What's cash? What's cash? I'm a month away from my very first event where I'm supposed to do Cody at, and I'm still trying to come up with the money to get the coat to properly do Cody at an event. So, you know, when it comes to my health and stuff like that, yeah, I'm not, yeah, nope. Bills here at the house and the things I need for my impressions and the channel, that always comes first. I'll just keep popping pills and laying on my back with a rolled up hot towel underneath it. I don't know what the hell that was, but Have you tried laying on a rigid surface? Oh, no, see, I'll tell you, I'll explain to you what the deal is with my back. And it's stupid. Since I got sick a week and a half ago, and, I've had all that popping and wheezing and stuff coming out of my lungs and my throat with the pneumonia that I've been carrying around. The only way that I can sleep at night is on my stomach. If I try to sleep on my back or my right side or my left side, after about 5 minutes, I'll guarantee somebody turned on the damn microwave, knowing they can't do that. But that's where the issue comes from, is I have to lay on my stomach and it arches my back way too much. And that's where the issue. The only other way I can sleep at night, and this is what I did last night, is I actually threw my pile of pillows on the floor beside the bed, got on my knees at the bed and laid up on the mattress and slept that. I do not know what the deal is, guys, with this spinny all of a sudden. I'm thinking somebody's out there warming up something in the microwave. But yeah, that's what I have to do a lot of times, is get there at the side of the bed and sleep upright. And I don't ever get the wheezing or the popping that way. But I'll be honest, I'm really looking forward to getting over this pneumonia thing. Because I was getting better, and then of course, 33 degrees Saturday out at the cemetery, snowing on me, everything else. I kind of was bad again Saturday night. What'd y'all all of a sudden get quiet for? There we go. Just remember 13 loops doing this. Oh, I know. They call that proper position. Props you right up. Hey, dog. Good to see you, bud. I don't know, Tony. There's really no history of the hangman's noose, and but I'd like to know where they come up with that number 13. I don't know if it's the fact that 13 was always an unlucky number, or what the deal was. But that's the only thing that makes sense to me is 13 was always an evil number. 13 was unlucky, so they put 13 knots on a noose. I don't know, or 13 loops. Yeah, that's how I got to sleep at night, dog. And I'll tell you what, the wife don't like it. She hates the fact of me not being in bed with her. But yeah, I sometimes I got to sleep like that to get a good night's sleep. And I did sleep good. Don't get me wrong. Hell, I came into your live stream this morning, dog. When I got up and got in here, they got the coffee pot turned on. I came in, give you a thumbs up. I was going to say hi, and I thought, nope, I don't have time to stick around and say hi to everybody. I overslept. I didn't go to bed till midnight last night because I wanted to sleep in a little bit this morning, and I wound up getting up at like 10 till 7. It's like, crap, I still got to get all cleaned up, get ready for my live streams. I'm going to go in, I'm going to show Dog a little love, give him a thumbs up, and get the hell out of Dodge. Lurking and listening. I missed that one. Who that? Oh, that's Candy. Got storms, bad weather this morning, so I'll just be lurking and listening. Not in a good mood this morning. I'm sorry, Candy dear. Yeah, I'll definitely be safe in those storms. Good morning. Have the same congestion. I'm thinking of renting a two-man submersible sub this summer. I'm going to see the Edmund Fitzgerald, shoot a video of her. Well, hopefully they got really good external lights on those little tiny subs, because it's dark down there. It's dark, it's murky. Lake Superior, I don't know, man. I mean, good luck to you. I hope you can pull it off, because that'll be a hell of a video. But the Great Lakes are so murky and disgusting on bottom. It's terrible. I think the design was to allow the noose to actually break the neck. It's not always worked, though, is the problem. There's several cases where they dropped the dude and it wouldn't break. They had to pick him up and just keep, slamming him down to get the neck to break. And there's been cases where fellers have fallen through the trap door and their heads popped right off like a chicken. So, yeah, human hair. Yeah. Night. You snuck in there when I was talking, man. How you been, bud? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. Already been under tornado watch 5:30 this morning. I'm glad they're rare up here. My daughter is terrified of them. She won't even watch one on TV. She's so scared of them. They were in a real bad storm when she was little. And I guess her brother said something about, this could make a tornado or this could spawn a tornado. And that word has stuck in her head for like 11 years. She's terrified of them. Head off is breaking the neck. Well, yeah. Kind of not what the onlookers want to see, squirt, 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 flop, 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 Well, we had tornado watch warnings all over the weekend. It's sad how she went down November 10th, 1975. November witch took her to her watery grave. Yep, sure did. With everybody on board. If I remember the story correctly, nobody survived. But yeah, the November witch out on Lake Superior, nobody's gonna survive. I don't care how good your life vest or your inflatable raft or anything is. You are not gonna survive out on Lake Superior in November, December. Hey, Robert, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well this morning. KG, why thank you, love. I'm sure you're looking pretty as a peach yourself. Tornadoes are small in comparison to most storms. The odds of getting hit by one is pretty slim. Trailer parks notwithstanding. Yeah, well, we talked about that the other day. How a trailer park just right off the bat makes a tornado horny. They go straight for them. They go straight for them like when a pit bull sees a French poodle in heat. They go straight for them. I thought the 13 loops symbolized 12 jurors and a judge. Now, see, it very well might. That's what we were talking about earlier, is there's no real history to the hangman's noose. Santee, upcoming video suggestion, bud, if you're still in here. The history behind the hangman's noose. Is it, where the idea of the 13 knots come from? Why do they like to use a certain diameter of rope? I've heard 12 jurors and a judge. I've heard, like I said, 13 being an unlucky number, being considered an evil number. So, I mean, who knows? There's a huge pine tree that went down in the village from the winds. Why, yes, Tony. Yes, I do have a Living History channel. And I guess Only Living for a Moment History channel kind of fits in there too, so. Makes me wonder when the last hanging was in Australia. Very curious. Our last hanging here was Saddam Hussein. Ronald Ryan was the last man hanged in Australia 50 years ago on February 3rd, 1967. I think ours here was in the 60s. Oh, I thought Saddam was here. I thought they hung him in the continental U.S. I didn't really care. As long as he was dying, that's all I cared about. So I didn't really pay much attention to it. Now, I do know that we had hangings here in the States in the early 20th century. But when exactly, I don't. I might just do that. Coming in the month of April, the history of the hanging and the hangman's noose. If I can find the information. Like I said, I've never really found anything before. So right now I'm in the process of working on a video on a lot of our past investigations. Just going over a few of them and getting ready for the new season to start. But after that one, that'll be the first one I start looking into is the hangman's noose and hangings. What are your thoughts about hanging? I missed that part. I personally think hanging should come back, although I don't think I'd like to be the one administering it. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, it's an effective way of dealing out punishment, but the one thing that I look down on when it comes to the final solution is too many times there's a mistrial and innocent people are accused of doing things that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 years down the road they find out that person didn't do it. Well, once you've hung them, you kind of eliminate the fact of going back for a retrial. But and that's why a lot of times you see like these death row inmates that might sit for 20 years waiting to finally have have the serum injected into their body, just in case, you know. But who knows? Old school execution still viable. Firing squad. Our last hanging here in Cando was in the 1960s. Last execution by chair here. Cando was either 1960s or 70s. It's because of murder, rape, harm to the family. Too many options for ups, which makes hanging a potentially cruel and unusual punishment. Karma is too slow. Human intervention is quick. In the U.S., you guys have a law that the inmate is electrocuted 3 times in the chair and survives. By law, the government has to set him free. Yeah. Yep. Because after the 3rd time, it becomes cruel and unusual punishment. And, I mean, you got to figure, you got to look at the wattage that's being coursed through a human body. And, yeah, I mean, those 3 times, yeah. Now, I don't know if that law is still in effect or not, but I know it used to be. Well, I don't know. If a person is killed via mistaken execution, so be it after all appeals processes are done properly. If a person is killed via mistaken execution, so be it after all appeals processes are done properly. And see, that's what I mean. We were just watching a show 2 or 3 weeks ago. Me and the wife were, and this poor guy had sat in prison for almost 28 years. He missed his children growing up. He missed their weddings. He missed the births of grandchildren. Everything. And they tried, or they something came up. Somebody looked into the cold case, and they came back and said this dude didn't do it. This dude didn't do it. They mishandled this. They mishandled this. They mishandled this. And then this other guy finally came forward and said he did it and gave all the details to the crime, even things that were held back. And 28 years they wound up letting that guy go. Not a we're sorry, no compensation. No, I think he's suing the state, or was suing the state as of the time that the show was made, but he's not going to get anything for it. I mean, there have been instances before where they've kept somebody in prison for 10, 15 years, and they give them some BS amount of money, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, a year's income for your 10 or 15 years of sitting behind bars, being beaten, being, molested, being whatever the case may be while he was there. But it's sad, but, anyone who mishandles evidence should be prosecuted. I can agree with that. Hey Jan, is your sticker guy still handy down there where you get the stickers made at? I got a new design to throw at you later. Um, since I'm using Ralphie now on everything more so that I'm using the Raven. Um, I got a new design to throw at you after a bit. I might toss it your direction. See what you think about it. I got to get a new banner made. Shit. How come every time I have a good thought it costs me money? Or costs us money? All of us, me, you, everyone. They're making me business cards for the channel too. Oh, that's cool. That's cool because when I got my business cards, Tony's going to be the first one to say something and probably laugh, and I'm going to go on and say it anyway because I got to feed his morning humor. When I got my business cards made up that I'm using now, we still had Midwest Parahistoric Society going. So the email and the channel and everything on my business cards is wrong, and I've been handing them out for over a year. I just noticed it the other day, and I'm like, hey, don't pay no attention to the YouTube channel right here. Just look at the name at the top of the card. So yeah, I've been handing out, which is probably why we've not been growing like we should be, because I've been handing out cards. I probably handed out 500 cards with the wrong YouTube channel and email address on them. Because, yes, Drew is a dipshit. Your turn, Tony. I want a new design for a car wrap. Thinking pearl white with the cemetery scene. That's very cool, Knight. If the wife would let me wrap her car, then that'd be really cool. Right now it's got my channel stickers on the back. It's got Jan's channel stickers on the back. It's got Tommy Tombstone's sticker on the back. But that's all. She won't let me wrap her car. She had an old crappy car at one time, and I wanted to wrap it and just advertise. Bring in a little extra money every month for an actual company. And she said, "Yeah, I am not driving that thing around." So there's no way she's gonna let me do it to her new car. I got nothing to say on that. I just watched Paul Harold vid on 4570 this morning. It made me think that the 4570 should be the executioner's weapon of choice. Now, I wouldn't mind trying to find some place that makes window screens. And I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I ordered door magnets for the cars early last year. And those damn things wouldn't stick to a car because, well, for one, magnets don't stick to aluminum. And aluminum being the cheaper metal, they're mixing aluminum and tin together to make like body panels now. Car magnets don't stick too well to them. As a matter of fact, as soon as you get a water drop or something behind the magnet, it falls right off the damn door. So yeah, I got one of them hanging on the door to the studio now, and one of them hanging over there underneath the shelf that all my whiskey bottles and stuff are on. My cars. It's in the sun. Get a wrap now. That is scratch proof. Bit more expensive. Super glue. There you go. That's how you stick a door magnet to your car. Gorilla Glue. I had water under a magnet banner on the car. It boiled the water and caused my banner to melt paint. Big Red has all the paranormal stickers on it. And see, that's what I keep telling everybody. You know, every once in a while you'll see me pop up at the very end of a video, right before the end credits start to roll. You know, if you got magnets, if you've got any kind of channel merch, stuff like that, you know, we are more than happy to advertise for you. Put magnets up, put stickers up, everything. You know, just to help each other out. I mean, that's what the whole Unity is about, is helping each other. Helping each other grow, advertising, stuff like that. So, I don't put stickers on my vehicles. Stuff I have stickers for would indicate there may be stuff in the car that maybe we're stealing. Actually, Jan, I've got that shirt very prettily folded right now, waiting for the investigations to start, because I plan on wearing that shirt in a couple of the investigations coming up. So I've done already thought about that advertising. See, sitting here, you don't see much of it. But, you know, actually being up on video out in a cemetery or something like that. Oh, yeah. Done already planned it. I'm thinking of starting a merchandise line for my channel. Good idea, Derek. Good idea. You know, not only is that a source of income for you besides, you know, getting paid here or whatever, but, you know, if you do giveaways or anything like that, you could always throw a hat, a coffee mug, you know, stickers, whatever the case is, in with the prizes, and that's just a little bit more self-promotion for you. See, people don't realize it yet, but the whole deal with giving these things, or, you know, doing the competition with these things, there's going to be a few extra little something's thrown in there. So, oh yeah. NRA stickers. Don't put NRA stickers on your ride. Yeah. People who are not gun enthusiasts tend to get a little angry when they see NRA stickers. I've only just gone solo, so I'm starting from scratch. No merch or advertisements. Having 6-month break here. Be careful, there may be issues with the name Dark Shadows. Yeah, but with it all being together as one word, I don't know if there'd be an issue with it or not. But yeah, advertisements, merch, it's all things to get, yeah, exactly. Yeah, people can order the shirts and merch and stuff through Jan. She can get it made cheaper than going through Teespring or any of those places. There's a movie, TV show named Dark Shadows. Yep. Actually, there's been a couple of them. There was a TV show back in the 60s, and then there was a movie in the 90s with Johnny Depp. But like I said, you know, with it being put together as one word with just a capital D and a capital S, I think it might be okay. Yeah, that's where the name Barnabas came from. Yep. I know you just said that. I'm not completely blind yet. I still got one good eye. Kinda. It was blurry this morning. Took me a while to get this one straightened up. I start to lose my eyesight in my left eye. I'm going to have to hire somebody to make videos, because I won't be able to edit no more. Barnabas Collins, lead vampire. Yep. Okay, guys and gals, heading off. It's 11 p.m. Need shower, hit the hay. All right, Knight. You have yourself a good day, bud. We'll be on Wednesday evening. As of right now, the wife's days off are still Monday and Tuesday. They've not changed them yet. So I'm spending as much time with her as I can. We'll be back on Wednesday evening and then Friday morning and evening. And don't forget, Friday night, guys. Friday night, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have got Jared King and Queen Laura as our guests. It's been a year or a bit more since they were on here, and buddy, it was a laugh fest. So I asked Jared if they wanted to come back, and he said anytime, so they're coming on Friday night with me. So it's going to be a good time. But you go have yourself a nice warm shower, get a good night's sleep. We'll catch you in a couple days. Friday night is fun night. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's one of the reasons that I can't wait to get back down to Tennessee to see Jared and Laura. We always get along so well together. It's hilarious. It's like a comedy show. We try to be serious on here, but damn it, just ain't God's plan. Oh man. But yeah, Saturday went well. Everybody started showing up here about 10 o'clock in the morning. You know, helped Steph get all the cooking and stuff done. And we all, they were constantly running things up to the VFW to get, you know, the crock pot and stuff like that. Of course, she made her famous baked beans that everybody wants her to make for all the family functions. Um, got out to the cemetery about 1:30. Of course, the hole was already dug, and we put the urn down into the little vault thing, which, you know, they don't actually put a vault in the ground like they do with a casket. This is a sealed box, probably a foot by 10 inches or something like that, maybe a foot tall. And we put the urn in there. The last cigarette that Grandma was smoking the morning Steph took her to the hospital when we found out about the cancer and everything. We have saved that cigarette in the ashtray up on top of Steph's coffee pot since January 23rd, which is when she went to the hospital. We put that cigarette down in there with her, and I had one of her little plastic cups that she liked, that she drank her tea out of. Before we dumped the tea, I put about yay much tea in her cup, and I slid it in the back of the fridge. And we took that up there and laid it down in the little thing too. And the girl took the paper off the lid to the little vault and pressed it down sealed it, and then Steph's uncles placed it down in the hole, and her aunt read just a little bit of history on Grandma, and everybody went up to the VFW and made friendly and ate and talked and remembered and reminisced, and we stayed up there until a little after 5, and came back. Some of us came back here to the house and just kind of hung out and relaxed and talked and laughed and played cards and had a few drinks. And so I mean, it was good. It was nice. Grandma would have been happy with it. Make sure close to the bathroom because you'll pee your pants. Or have a coffee can sitting down on the floor. You'll need one. Man, I'm glad I broke that thing out of storage. That's a number 9. My dad's got a number 2. Got a number 2 Zippo. That's a number 9 right there. That reminds me, I only found out that my paternal grandma traveled across the country in a covered wagon at her funeral. Very interesting. I only wonder at the potential conversations that info could have brought about. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Traveling across the country in a covered wagon. But yeah, got some interesting videos coming up this month, guys. So much historic information is just gone. Really honestly is. Really honestly is. And the one thing that I've learned over the last few years of doing this is, especially through the statues and things like that. Everybody always talking about erasing history and changing history and things like that. These are symbols. These are symbols. I think it was said best when the Twin Towers were hit. People talked about, attacking a symbol and it changing the whole outlook of people. And the same thing goes with history, taking down a statue, removing the 10 Commandments from a courthouse square or something like that. You know, these are symbols, guys. These are things we look at to remember. But the real memories live up here. And the only way history ever truly disappears is when we quit talking about it and we quit remembering it. You know, which is why, you know, at the beginning of a lot of my videos, you'll see something to the effect of history is like a dearly departed relative. The only way they truly vanish is when we forget them. We don't forget the ones we love. We don't forget history. We tell the tales over and over and over again so it's never forgotten. And our kids, our grandkids, our great grandkids can still live those stories through us. Let's see here. Today's the 3rd. Tomorrow, we have got the Atlantic slave trade. That's an interesting story. They talk about the slave triangle. They talk about how goods and services would leave England. They would travel down to Africa. They would trade and purchase African slaves. Then they would go from Africa to Central and North America. They'd sell them, pick up cotton, tobacco, sugar, coffee, and go back up to England with it. And it was a constant working triangle. Let me see here. On Thursday, William F. Cody, his life, his death, his legend. Well, see, I kind of am too, Tony. But I found a lot of information in this I'd never heard of before. So, and I mean, this story actually reinforces the fact that, you know, the slave trade had been going on for over 150 years before we got involved in it. Portugal, France, the Netherlands, they were the ones that got it all fired up. And most slaves were sold or traded to those countries, and then later on England, by conquering tribes over there that took them prisoner and sold them or traded them as slaves. You know, it wasn't the whites going in. Indentured servitude is also mentioned in this video. I made sure that when I put this thing together, that indentured servitude was also mentioned in the video. But let me see here. Cody, his life, his death, his legend. Next Sunday, we have Appalachian Mysteries, Indrid Cold and the Men in Black. And then we start getting real interesting here. Hey, Trapper. Good to see you, Paul. How you doing this morning, bud? Being with Tyler plus meeting you, I have learned so much history I didn't know. A lot of things are very intriguing. I want to pass them to my kids because I know the school doesn't teach them. Yeah, they don't. That's for sure. It's no different. Okay. A week from tomorrow, we have got Lizzie Borden, the legend, the folklore, the truth. On the 13th, we got Dead Men Riding, the James Younger Gang. And then I'll just leave the rest of it for later. But we're all over the place this month. Lizzie Borden, the James Younger Gang, Charles Dickens. Whole bunch of stuff going on this month. My mustache keeps tickling my tongue when I push my cigar in my mouth. I'm thinking I got tobacco hanging out the end of it. Dickens was very interesting, man. I was very, very surprised when I compiled this video. I had always heard that Dickens got the idea of A Christmas Carol because of his own personal experiences as a child and a dream. And watching this video, I come to find out that's not the fact. That's not what really happened. He was a very interesting person, and he was a very, very smart author. You know, he didn't necessarily write what he believed in, but he made sure and wrote about things he knew interested other people, which is why his stories were always such a big hit. Yes, yes, he did write himself into a lot of his stories. But, you know, I'm trying to keep the fun stuff coming. Now, next Friday night, not this coming Friday, but next Friday, I got a very interesting pair of guests coming. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail right now, but these guys have got a very, very, very popular podcast. They are into the paranormal. They are into everything odd and unusual. So, but for once, they actually get to be the interviewed and not the interviewees. So, or I should say, they get to be the interviewees and not the interviewers. Of course, you know, if you guys want to check them out, you can always go over and check out What Goes Bump in the Night here on the platform and get a feel for them before the interview. Yeah, good luck. Good luck at work today, Jan. I know it's your first day going back to work. Good luck with that today. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And don't forget to enjoy a little bit of that food that you're going to be sitting in there prepping. I thought you was probably looking forward to it. I know you've been wanting to get a little something going. You know, a little extra money coming in, a little something to entertain your time with. What better than working in a place that you already enjoy going to? It's just Monday, it's supposed to be my day off, but I have to close the store. You have to close the store, or you agreed to close the store. Because the last time I heard, though Iowa may be a very weird place to live and work and exist, they still cannot legally hold a gun to your head and make you close the store on your day off. So I'm thinking you might have agreed to close the store. But that's just my opinion. Plus, it's extra money. You know, we'll do just about anything to bring extra money into our household. Just shy of prostituting ourselves, which, I mean, Tyler, you know, we've already discussed that today. That's going to be the key to his brand new fundraiser, is how much money he can make prostituting before he's arrested the first time. Just going to ask to do a few engine rebuilds for the local Ford garage. Very cool. Oh yeah, that extra money coming in will really help get that car paid down too. He scheduled me to close the store because one of the managers quit. Yep, well, in my opinion, he still needs to lose his job for the crap he's pulled, and you need to be the general manager of that place. That way you can take 15 vacations a year like he does and pass on the responsibility to somebody else. I saw a car with Iowa license plate over the weekend, thought of Ty and Brent. I always do when I see Iowa stuff. Okay, I'm back. Just looking through my hard drive to see what movies to watch tonight, so I decided on Dirty Harry, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Hang 'em High. Well, you know, sometime today, because I saw a Sam Elliott montage before we did the live stream this morning, I think I'm going to sit down and watch Roadhouse. Wade Garrett. You mean fighting sumbitch. Those are good choices. I guess I'm not kissing the right ass. Just start kissing more of them. Just don't even be selective on the butts you kiss. Just start kissing all of them. Anybody in corporate comes in to visit the store, I mean, get down on your knees, grab them butt cheeks, and just start smooching. Just like he does. When he loses his job, and you get it, you can look at him and say, you always said you were trying to teach me how to be a good manager. Looks like I learned. It's 5 Dirty Harry movies, you know. There is. I love Roadhouse, are you kidding? That's a chick gay dude flick. That's an ass-kicking flick is what that is. I don't want to get disease. Dirty Harry movies, where he said, I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 5 shots or only 3? Do you feel lucky, punk? Do you feel lucky? And besides that, the music in Roadhouse is pretty good. I was always a fan of Jeff Healey and the Jeff Healey Band, and seeing him perform live, you know, on in the video, or being in it, because him and Patrick Swayze were such good friends. You know, he has he had something a little bit more than just his music to leave to his kids and stuff when he passed away. Oh, now see, Red Dawn, another great film. Another great film. And Cobra with Stallone. Oh, yeah. Well, the reason I was going to choose Roadhouse is because I don't got Red Dawn on the channels that we have right now. So I got to be a little bit more selective on what I watch. You know, Red Dawn is always my fallback. Scratches Drew off movie night. You know, we had to tighten the budget a little bit around here and had to let several of our streaming channels go. So, yeah, I don't have any channels that's got Red Dawn on it. So I have to go for Roadhouse. And besides that, it's more for Elliot and less for Swayze. No, seriously, Tyler. Us thinking, taking a canoe and going down the river like they did hundreds of years ago, or travel on horseback to another state like they did back then, but as a fundraiser. Be a cool idea. Be a cool idea. The only streaming channel I have is Amazon Prime. Yeah, we don't even have that anymore. We did. I like Red Dawn too. Very intense at times. So many actors. Very young. Oh, yeah. Morning, Danny. Good to see you, bud. Hope you had a good weekend. Yep, morning's going good so far. I woke up. Hell of a start. We have Amazon Prime, Discovery Plus, Paramount. Out of those three, all we have is Discovery Plus right now. We had all of them, but you know, had to let Disney go, had to let Netflix go. We still got Hulu. We got Discovery Plus, which still don't have any of the brand new Ghost Adventures on it. We got Freevee. And the rest of them are just B, C, and D movie sites that have movies on them people made in their garages and stuff. Let me see here. Babysat the grandkids. Was a great weekend. Can't get better than that. My son came up from Muncie, Indiana, brought the wife and all the kids up, so I had grandbabies all around me Saturday. Um, Loved it. Loved it. Grandbabies running everywhere. Of course, the little turds came in here and wrecked the house after we cleaned it for 2 days. But you know something? Cleaned back up a lot faster than it cleaned the first time. Except for my granddaughter, who tends to think that kitty cats do not deserve to eat out of a bowl. They should have their food brought to them by the handful and just poured on the floor for them to eat. Little does she know that Ralphie will not eat off the floor. You have to put anything and everything he eats in a bowl or on a plate. I don't care if you lay little strips of steak on the floor. Ralph will snip it, lick it once, and walk away. It has to be put on a plate or in a bowl before he'll eat it. You've been watching them on Thursday nights. Yeah, I was watching Ghost Adventures last night. It's the same season 25 that's been there for the last 6 months. If you guys have not seen Valachi Papers with Charles Bronson, I strongly suggest you see it, based on a true story. Never even heard of that. And I was a Charles Bronson fan when I was real young. His Death Wish movies, his old westerns, all that stuff. So definitely gonna have to check that out. We've been streaming Dead Files. Jay really likes that show. I think we've watched all the Dead Files. Pretty sure we have watched all the Dead Files. And I don't know if they're still making it or not, but we've not watched it in a while because we got to the very end of the season and hadn't seen anything about brand new Dead Files. So, but yeah, definitely another good show. The Valachi Papers is based on Joseph Valachi, who was a soldier in the Genovese crime family in New York during the heyday of the Italian American Mafia. Interesting. He actually was the first one to testify against the Mafia. Top Gear Grand Tour. I've not watched Top Gear in a long time. I might have to catch up on that again sometime here real soon too. That's the one nice thing about the wife going to work at, like 5:30 at night or something like that. We'll grab an early dinner, and then she heads off to work, and I got the whole evening to sit and watch whatever I want to. Well, guys, I'm heading out. See y'all Wednesday. All right, Jan. Have a good first day at work, and let me know how it goes. Get with me tonight when you get home and everything. Let me know how it goes. I'm kind of anxious to see how much you really enjoyed it and what you did. But yeah, we'll talk to you later, huh? Zombie, howdy, howdy. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well today. 1,000s of DVDs and movies on the hard drive. I used to collect DVDs and stuff. When video stores started closing down, they were selling everything. I used to go out and buy 15, 20 movies at a time. I had two bookcases full. I think I had 300 or 400 movies, all set up in different genres by actors, and oh yeah, loved it. How the West Was Won's another great movie. The intro, bad. Yeah, it was. How the West Was Won was a great movie and a great TV series. You know, what is 69 and the Mafia have in common? One slip of the tongue and you're, yep, exactly. Exactly. Well, Zombie, I can't speak for everyone in here, but I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. But then again, you know how I feel about that. Any day you wake up and can wiggle your toes on the carpet before you stand up, off to a good start. What you make of it after that is entirely up to you. It's my favorite Bronson movies. I got 5 bookcases full. And we didn't have any more. We didn't have any more video stores around where I could buy films at when the last one closed down. That's why I had to stop at 3. Some are actually CD, DVD shelves. Good morning, Bud Files. Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. Man, it is bright out already. We're supposed to get up to 59 degrees today. Snowing 2 days ago and colder than a well digger's butt in cast iron underwear in the middle of January. And today's supposed to be almost 60 degrees. Supposed to get up into the 70s before this week's over. So maybe, just maybe, spring has actually sprung. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, we've had snow piled up the 2nd and 3rd week of April. Hell, we've had snow piled up the 1st week of May before. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm a lover of all movies, including Gone with the Wind, Casablanca, The Grapes of Wrath, all the Godfather movies. Just definitely so. Something about the way the movies were made back in the day. They're just, newer movies can be interesting. They can be entertaining, but there's something about the movies that were made, decades ago that just some kind of a draw to them. I'm considering putting all these on hard drive and cleaning up shitloads of space. If you got a hard drive that can do it, I say go for it. Been so busy, this morning didn't have time to wind my ass or scratch my watch. That's Monday for you. One of my all-time favorite movies ever is The Quiet Man. I would say The Quiet Man is probably... I'd say The Quiet Man's probably in my top 15. I was, I like a lot of the old John Wayne films. I like, a lot of the old horror flicks. Back when it was more of a psychological thing and less of a visual thing. To me, there's not a fine line between horror and gore. I liked horror films. You don't need to show people getting decapitated and their intestines falling out on the floor and stuff like that for it to be a scary film. I like the ones with the jump scares. It's the Alfred Hitchcock. There you go. There you go. Best movie ever made, Paul Newman, Nobody's Fool, with Jessica Tandy. Yeah. Casablanca is great, as is African Queen. I don't know. I guess growing up with my dad and everything in the house, I was just always hooked on old westerns. My grandfather was the same way. He loved watching old westerns. And just something that really got me interested in the old west. And let me see here. Cool Hand Luke. Cool Hand Luke's a good movie. And I didn't realize until this morning, and I'm kind of ashamed of myself for it, being the Sam Elliott fan that I am. I didn't realize that Sam was making movies for years before he ever had his iconic mustache. I seen clips of him where I had to pause it to take a look at it to see if it was really him or not. But Sam always said, a man don't grow a good mustache, a mustache grows a good man. So, that's when he really, really stood out. When he started growing that iconic mustache of his, that bulletproof, that mustache that's so powerful it could almost kick Chuck Norris's butt. That's Bullet with Steve McQueen. Oh yeah, there you go. Bullet was a good movie. Bullet was a good movie. Bullet was such an iconic movie. Do you know when they sold that Mustang? That thing went for almost $1.5 million. It was that iconic of a film. I think it was $1.25 million. I think it was 1.25 or 1.27 or something like that $1 million at auction when they sold it. Fill her up. Glub, 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 glub. I might actually get to go outside and do something today. One of the best car chase movies ever. Gone in 60 Seconds. I can agree with that. The original Hilaki version. I don't think I ever seen the original Hilaki version. But I can definitely agree that Gone in 60 Seconds is right up there with the car chases and stuff. Um, the same as Bullet. Definitely a good movie. Kelly's Heroes. Another good film. Vanishing Point. You guys coming up with some good ones this morning. And being into the things I'm in and the types of movies I'm in, The Mountain Men, another great film. Um, God, what else? Think hard, old memory. Patton, Bridge Too Far, Bridge Over the River Kwai. Good ones. Jeremiah Johnson, another good one. Love Jeremiah Johnson. Was teasing the stepson the other day about him growing a beard. I told him, I said, "You're starting to look like Jeremiah Johnson," and my wife looked at me and said, "Who?" I said, "You wonder why I want to get you more involved with my channel." Morning, Lee. You sexy Marylander W. Hope you're doing good this morning, bud. Happy Monday to you. I know there's no such a thing, but still. Boy, we had one hell of a first event. Did it go well? Still too bloody damn chilly here, man. That's what I was saying earlier. We put Grandma on the ground on Saturday while it was snowing. High winds and driving rain most of Saturday afternoon and into Sunday morning. And we haven't had anything here but rain for 2 days, and then the temperature drops down to freezing, and it snows. And now here we are going to be almost 60 today, in the 70s by the end of the week. Go figure. High Plains Drifter, another good one. Tents were dropping all over the place. Dances with Wolves, Open Range, all the Hatfield and McCoys. Yep, definitely. Hatfield was a mini-series. Yeah, but still, good production nonetheless. We had to take all of ours down before the wind took them down. Go figure. We've had quite a few events up here like that. Hell, we had one event years ago down in Muncie, Indiana, when a tornado came through, and it never touched down. It never touched down. It hung above the ground all the way across. But it dropped tents, dropped a couple teepees. The guys came in late. They didn't want to wake anybody up. So they set the teepee up, but they didn't stake it down. And that storm came through late at night, picked that teepee straight up, and it opened up like an umbrella and come right back down on top of them. Luckily, nobody got seriously hurt, but there were some bumps and bruises and scrapes that weekend. Oh yeah, Lonesome Dove, definitely so. Bright side, I managed to make $1,000 in Confederate money for dropping the annoying bucktail lieutenant. Had a bounty on his head. 2 mules for Sister Sarah. Personal favorite, the outlaw Josie Wells. 2 Mules for Sister Sarah was one of Grandma's favorite films. Steph and her would sit down every time they got a chance, and they would watch 2 Mules for Sister Sarah and 7 Brides for 7 Brothers. Those were 2 of Grandma's ultimate favorite movies, and she would sit there the whole time and just stare at the TV and laugh. Well, congratulations on dropping that lieutenant and making $1,000 in Confederate money. I wish I would have got paid for dropping that pesky Reb I dropped up there at Mooresville that time. I'd shoot him more often if I got paid for doing it. Oh, by the way, the new website for Gettysburg event is back up and running. Go to pcwa.org for more information. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Prequel to Lonesome Dove. Comanche Moon is pretty good. I've never seen Comanche Moon. Lonesome Dove's good. Garth Brooks song. Pesky Merlin Reb, which he shot numerous times. He's still coughing up buckshot. I bet he is. Once in the butt and once in the gall, it'll fill you up pretty good. It's worth watching. I'll see if I can find it. Comanche Moon. I'll see if I can find that. There's a legend. There's a boxcar in Lake Superior with Confederate gold bars in it. Yeah, they pretty much, I think they pretty much gave up on that. They found a couple boxcars out there, fadangling around. And neither one of them showed any sign of any kind of a cargo that has not dissolved. So there definitely was no gold in them. They're pretty much sure, Derek, they're pretty much sure that gold made it back home. Because, I brought this up in a live stream the other day, a week or two ago. The officer from up in Michigan, when he left, he didn't have no money saved up at all. He went down, he served his time in the war, and we all know what officers made during the war. They didn't make shit for money. I mean, back then it was decent money, but nowadays, no. This guy came back from the war and within a year built $100,000 house and started opening businesses up. And he would have only made probably 15 grand during his entire service time. So where'd he come up with the money to start opening businesses and buying businesses and setting up parks? And I think it was a $165,000 house he built. So, not to mention, they've already discovered the train tracks and the engine buried in the sands of Lake Michigan. They already found all that. So the big question now is not whether the gold made it back up here or not, it's what happened to it. And like I said, he come back here, built a great big huge mansion, bought businesses, opened banks, opened parks. Where'd all his money come from? Picks up with the original Grumpy's Buffet. One that picks up where the original Lonesome leaves off isn't worth much. Can't recall the name of it. Could be wrong. Could the lost Confederate gold be in the Ozarks? No, I think it stayed right here in Michigan. History Channel ran the Curse of Civil War Gold a few years ago about that. Yep, it don't take a lot of logic. It don't take a lot of logic to figure he brought it back up here with him. Like I said, in the 4 years of the war, he was lucky. He was lucky if he was able to bring back 15 grand with him. But he came back up here after the war, built a $165,000 house, opened opened, I think, 4 businesses, opened 3 banks, set up 2 parks. I mean, totaling Christ, $500,000. So you got to ask yourself, where did he get that money at? There's something about CW Gold here in Pennsylvania. Yep, heard that too. All right, Tony, you take care, bud. We'll catch you here in a couple days. But it's that time, y'all. I got to get working on this next video while the wife's laying down sleeping. Like I said, her day's off. I'm spending the time with her. But it is time for me to be like a fat baby and head out. Time for me to be like a tree and leave. Time for me to be like a bunch of birds and get the flock out of here. So, you guys all have a great day. Try to have a great day. I mean, it's a Monday, so God, who knows. If you want to help out with the things we got going on this year, the new locations, the guests, the Cody persona, or get involved in the giveaway for these 2 photos up here. These 2 paintings up here. You can do it right there on the PayPal link. Don't forget for the pictures, it's $1 an entry. You can enter as many times as you like. They're only going to appreciate and value. As soon as this feller here dies that painted this one, oh yeah, I think we're going to see a big jump. Maybe not up in the price range where this one's from, but who knows? Art's a funny thing. It never depreciates, but it always appreciates. So, you guys all have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. We'll catch you all later. Have a good evening or good day.